As analysts, our data usually already exists in a database. But sometimes we need to add, remove, or edit data that's in a database already. It's important to know how to do this right and how not to do it. Stick around to the end to learn one thing you should always do. I'm Woody Null. This is the Null Value Show, equipping you to add value with data and analytics. I've been working with databases for 15 years, and I'm excited to help you learn too. This video is part of my series on writing SQL. If you missed the previous videos, please go check those out. Today's video covers the insert into, update, and delete commands. Here's the table we'll be using for this video. It's a customers table with one row per customer. We'll start by typing insert into. Then we give the table name that we want to add a row to. Then we list out our columns that we want to use inside parentheses. Separate each column with a comma. Then we type the keyword values, and inside parentheses we list out the actual values that we want to insert. The values must be in the same order as the column list above. Enclose each value in single quotes. Keep in mind that each value has to be the right data type for that column. When we run this query, the database will add a new row into the table using the values we specified. Before we get to the update command, if you love data and analytics, please hit subscribe for a new video every week. You don't want to miss the rest of this series on writing SQL or any of the other great content that I have lined up for you. Now, back to the update command. We use the update command to make changes to an existing row in a table. We'll start by typing the word update, followed by the table name. Then we use the keyword set, and then tell it which column we want to change, and then an equal sign, and then tell it the new value in single quotes. We can then type a comma, and then another column name, and a equal sign, and then the new value for that column. We only need to write out the columns that we're changing. We don't have to type out every single column in the table. Now at this point, we need to stop. As this query is written right now, every single row in the table will be updated with the new values. That's probably not what we want. Always do this when you're writing an update statement. Add a where clause and then give conditions for which rows you want to update. In this case, I'm going to use the customer ID as my condition because I know that only one row in this table has that specific customer ID number. It is a unique identifier for the row I want to update. Now, when we run this query, the database will only update the rows that match our conditions with the new values specified. Up next is the delete command. This allows us to remove rows from a table. We'll start by typing delete, and then from, and then the name of the table we're going to delete from. If we run this now, it will delete every row in the table. Again, we must use a where clause to specify which rows to be deleted. Before we wrap up, I'll give you a couple of pointers here. It's a good idea to wait until you're finished writing your query to type the word update or delete. That way, if you accidentally run the query, it will fail and not do anything, instead of updating or deleting every single row. There is no undo in SQL. Depending on how your specific database is configured, it may be possible to recover some of the damage from a backup, but don't count on this being available. It's best to assume that all queries you run are final. Check over them carefully before you execute. Some companies may require that if you're modifying a production table, that you have a rollback plan to recover your changes if things don't go as intended. We'll cover rollback plans in another video. A best practice is to test your where clause on a select query first, and make sure that it's returning the rows you want to modify. When you're satisfied that the correct rows are being selected, then you can change your select to an update or a delete, and have confidence that the right rows will be updated. We just learned how to insert, update, and delete rows in a database table. If you got value out of this video, please give me a like and share it with a friend or coworker. We'll catch you next time on the Null Value.